Okay, the other day I told you everything that has to do with adoption and why you should go for adoption the legal way. And there are consequences to not adopting a child legally. Some of those consequences are what we are going to be looking at today. So it's going to be very brief. If you ask me, I would say that the impact of illegal adoption is more on the child than it is on the adoptive parent. There are consequences to not doing adoption the right way. And of course, the consequences can never be palatable. Take, for instance, you go and buy a child. Of course, there's a transaction because a huge sum of money was exchanged for you to get that child. Then you go all the way to do a naming ceremony, a child dedication, and of course, change everything that has to do with that child. And then you start living with that child for that child to grow up one day and probably being, because it is in that same environment. Because some persons, illegally too, or people you told know about what happened, know about this transaction. All of a sudden, someone comes one day to your doorstep to ask for his or her child. So how would you feel? Tell me. How would you feel? Won't you feel embarrassed? Won't you feel sad? Because you might have invested your whole love, care, and attention, your emotions into that child. You might have spent so much money taking care of that child. You've built love around this child, and all you need is for that love to continue. All you need is for that love to linger until old age. And suddenly that joy and that love is cut short by the real owner of the child. How would you feel? You're going to feel devastated. You're going to even feel depressed if care is not taken. So this is why you should do adoption the right way. About identity crisis. Yes, the child suffers identity crisis because he can't explain where he came from. He can't even explain who the real parents are. The child has no knowledge about himself. He's just existing without proper knowledge of himself, and he goes to school, someone abuses him with that status of you were bought, or you were gotten from the dump site, somebody comes up with such stories, and this child becomes devastated as well and depressed and may turn into a deviant as a result of that. And of course, you can go to jail as well for adopting illegally, for picking a child, or for buying a child. Even when a child is picked, the best you can do is to register the complaint at the police station. From there, the next thing is to go to the motherless home, and if you feel you want to foster and adopt this child, a fostering process can begin from there. After the fostering stage, if you are found worthy, then the normal thing will be done for you to adopt the child, and the child becomes yours. So you can go to jail if you are caught staying or living with a child that was not properly adopted, legally adopted. Don't forget that some of the consequences include identity crisis for this child, and of course you are going to lose that child. You will end up going to jail if you are caught, and you will lose the child as well. The child is going to lose a family and lose you in the process. And of course, if anything eventually happens to you, your family members are going to deal with this child. They are going to torture this child because they were not involved. Remember that if you want to adopt a child legally, your family member must be involved. The court will ask for your family members to ascertain if they are in support of this adoption, so that if anything happens tomorrow, they will know that this child is the heir to everything you own, be it your property and everything, your wealth. If you adopt a child illegally, if anything happens to you tomorrow, your kinsmen will not allow this child to relax in that family and enjoy whatever wealth you may leave behind for your heir. So that is why it is proper, it is the right thing to go through the right channel to adopt your child. And that way you are going to have peace. Even if you leave this world, that child is going to have peace in your home. And then you have someone, a supplanter, that is legally behind to take care of you and your legacies you left behind. Thank you, and God bless you. Do the right thing. Don't forget.